Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I know I've been a little incognito, but your girl is back. This is Coach Marcia. Let's chat. Let's talk. And waiting on a few people to come on in. Let me tell you, you're all gonna hear some back noises because the my lawnmower team company is out there doing the yard. So forgive me with that. But I just wanted you all to know that our regular scheduled sessions on Tuesdays and Thursdays are going to be disrupted a little bit. I have some new things going on in my life that is going to, I'm telling you all, it's just going to be major, major changes. And so instead of our scheduled sessions and scheduled talks, so to say, it's gonna be like, hey, might hear from me every day. I might be on my way to one of my many engagements that I have going on this season in my life. So I might just pop up anytime. It could be early in the morning, midday, late at night. You know, if you don't catch the live, you can always do the replay. And like always, I'm just so thankful for everyone that tunes in. Thank you for watching the replay. I really want you all to share this message today. Share all the message, but really share this particular message today. The other night, I was message today. He shared this. The other night, I was going through YouTube looking at a few things, and I ran up across a message that my Angelo and Dave Chappelle were having, and I listened to it. I had to listen to it a second time, like in the wee hours of the early morning. And I found this so interesting, so profound. Just looking at the life of Dave Chappelle, the little bit that he allows us to view of his life outside of comedy, and then even just really listening to his comedy, because a person can listen to something but not really hear what the person is saying. So just going back and listening to different things that he stated, and this particular interview with him and Dr. Mama Angelo, I found so interesting. Two different people, which I thought on different spectrums, but so much alike, you all. And one thing that stood out to me is a word when Dave Chappelle she was talking about her relationship with Malcolm X and Dr. Martin Luther King, and how she got so excited. Did I know them? Yes, I knew them. La la la. And then and she started talking about Dave Chappelle mentioned the fact that her being growing up in like the heart of racism, oppression upon the black community back in the day, right? And Smith said to me, you should be angry, like angry like that. And then she gave a statement, not really knowing, but she talked about the difference in anger and bitterness, which brought me back to a conversation my best friend and I had. Right, probably like a couple months after I had transitioned from the brig, which is the military correctional facility, and we were talking, and I'm telling her how I really wanted to, that God really dropped the game changer in my spirit at that time to be able to move forward with it, right? And so I'm going on about how you know it's so hard out here, and people don't want to help you and different things of that nature. And she stopped me and she said, you know what, Marcia, you cannot move forward with this until you get unbitter. You're bitter. She said, you surpassed being angry. She said, you're bitter. And then, so I really didn't get it. I really didn't elaborate, because in my mind, I was like, okay, you're supposed to be on my side. You're my friend. You're supposed to take up for me, right? How dare you call me bitter? I'm not bitter, you know. And I'm gonna bring this up on my phone. This is what Dr. Maya Angelou said. She stated, bitterness is like cancer. It eats upon the host. It doesn't do anything to the object of its displeasure. Bitterness is like a cancer, right? And it's like, I heard her, but I didn't hear her. My friend, right? I heard her, but I didn't hear her. And I probably like maybe 6 months, maybe 9 months, probably a year after she said that, I really realized that I was bitter. And bitter, in the root of that bitterness was I did not forgive myself for what I had done, right? Yes, I defrauded the government. I got the rightful punishment. It could have been worse, right? Um, It could have been worse, point blank, period. By the grace of God, I got the punishment that I did. But in my mind, I had researched and found a different punishment, right? That would not have been so catastrophic to my career. I could have rebounded from what it is that I had done. Like, I can easily go from a private back up to a non-commissioned officer easily because I had the skill set to be able to do those things, right? And so, but instead, what I did is, even though on one side of me, I'm like, I'm not angry with the military, I'm good, I got my rightful punishment. But in actuality, to be all honest, I was angry, I was pissed because I knew that the outcome could have been different, right? The outcome could have been different. My story could have been different. My story could have been different. But okay, it didn't play out that way. And now I know that if I had stayed rooted in bitterness, I would not be able to be on this platform or any other platform to communicate to you how to rebound from that, how to go about recreating, repositioning, and re equipping you, giving you tools to be able to help you walk through this process of despair, walk through the process of desolation. You understand what I'm saying? So it is so important, guys, that you recognize, okay, yes, I'm angry about this, but don't let your anger take you into a rage. Because when the anger takes you into a rage, you have you have allowed your anger to give you a temporary solution that will render you permanent results. I'm going to repeat that. Don't let the anger you feel over a situation make you give a temporary, something that should have been a temporary solution that's going to render you permanent results. Right? You're going to have to figure out a way to, okay, yes, I'm upset about this. I'm angry about this. But what do I do with that anger? And so, and Dr. Maya Angelou, her thing was to Chappelle, Dave Chappelle, was write it down, put it in a book, right? Paint it through your art, right? Dance it out, through through arts, right? And then one thing she said, talk about it. Never stop talking about it. Because when you're angry about something, you can turn that thing, you're angry, but you're looking for a solution, right? You're looking for a solution. But check this out, you're responsible for the solution. It can be, hey, you end up in prison. Like, you can end up in prison, you can end up dead, or your solution could be something that is going to catapult not only you, but your listener, but your follower, but the person who's reading your masterpiece, the person who's looking at your piece of art and can communicate with their eyes what they see that you're saying, right? So it's so important, y'all. But if you get bitter in that process, it's like a cancer. You know, radiation ain't helping it, holistic therapy isn't helping it, medication isn't helping it, nothing nobody says is giving you sound wisdom, sound advice. None of that is going to help, guys. It's like a cancer. She said it's like a cancer that eats upon the host. It's eating away at you slowly, where you can be effective in your message. Imagine me coming on here every day, like bitter Marsha, bitter Betty, bitter Annie, whatever they call it, but bitter Marsha, instead of me encouraging you, instead of me empowering you to move forward, I'm making you feel worse. I'm adding fuel to the fire, and instead of your anger becoming a solution to a problem, I'm creating a monster. I'm creating a monster. So, guys, I'm not going to be on here long, but I want you to, I challenge you to this week, like really look at one situation in your life, just one. It could be multiple ones, but choose that one situation and look at it and ask yourself, am I festering in bitterness? Has this thing formed into a cancer where it's slowly eating away at me? And as a result of that, it's pouring over to others. It's pouring over to other situations in my life. It's pouring over. It's like overflowing. The poison in the cancer is flowing over into other areas of my life. Good morning, Andrea. It's pouring over to other areas in your life. I'm telling you all, it is so important. I felt that thing when she said that. I felt that thing because I resonated with it because that's where I was. And because of the help of my best friend, she, like Netta, she's like, hey, you know what? Until you forgive yourself, until you rid yourself of this bitterness, Marcia, you ain't going to be successful at nothing. This thing is not going to manifest. This thing is not going to do anything but be a roadblock for you, but be a barrier for you. Your result is not going to be the result that you want. And I tell you, I'm so thankful for her being honest with me. Regardless, she's like, okay, she wouldn't be my friend if she wasn't honest with me. So I'm so thankful that she loved me enough to be able to say, hey, you're wrong. Hey, this thing has went from, okay, I got a solution, to mass with bitterness. She said, no, Marcia, you got to stop. You got to regroup. You got to refocus. You have to go backtrack, and forgive. First of all, forgive yourself, because you don't forgive yourself at this moment for what you did. So I'm like, okay, wow. You know what? And it was true. I had not forgiven myself. And you all, to be honest with you, even today, I catch myself in a phase of having to communicate with myself. Hey, Marcia, you know what? I forgive you. Hey, Marcia, you know what? You are important. Hey, Marcia, you know what? What you have to say is important. What you have to say is value. It has value in it. What you have is going to set others free. So it's so important, guys, that you don't allow bitterness to set root in your life. Because when that thing sets root, guess what? You have to work harder even harder to uproot it. You got to work hard. You got to be determined. You have to be dedicated. And it's going to be exhausting. It will be exhausting. So you're going to need someone by your side that is going to have to be able to understand when you reject them, understand when you ghost them, right? Understand when you lash out at them. So you can't be sensitive when you're dealing with someone that has bitterness in their heart. You, the person who's going to be help them walk or been assigned for them to walk through this process, you're going to have to be stand firm, flat footed, not shaken, not move, because they're going to need you. They're going to need your intercession. They're going to need you encouraging them and empowering them through this process. They're going to need you to be gentle but firm. Gentle but firm. They're going to need you because bitterness is a stronghold that, let me tell you, y'all, it will take a lot to for that thing to be uprooted, but it's possible. And you know why? Because I'm living proof. I'm living proof. So if anyone out here is listening to this, trust and believe, call me, reach out to me, inbox me, I promise you that I will get back to you. Like, because it is needed. It is needed. Self-talk, Andrea, you're right. Self-talk is very important, but you got to be careful with that because what are you talking to yourself? What are you saying to yourself? What are you saying to yourself? And Drea, I'm your battle. I'm one of your battle buddies. You know, and I'm gonna walk this process out with you. And I would be so glad when you come to the point when you reach to the point where like you want to share your story, share your process. Because it is going to help set someone free in the category in which you are dealing with what you're dealing with. So I'm just telling y'all, I promise y'all I wouldn't be on here long because I got appointment to get I have to get to and I'm getting on this road. I say, but like I told you all, my regularly scheduled sessions on Tuesdays and Thursdays might be a little off. So if set your notifications so it can alarm you when I get on from YouTube to Facebook to LinkedIn, because I got a word. I got a word. And remember, in order to become the game changer of your life, right, you gotta want it. You gotta have a desire to do something different. And I pray that the words that I'm speaking today will penetrate your heart and push you to want to move into something different and do something different. And seek you a coach. You can come to Coach Marsha. I'm gentle but firm. Right, Drea? Gentle but firm. Gentle but firm. And it's one thing that but it's one thing, it's a beautiful thing, guys, to be free. It's a beautiful thing to not be bound by your past, to not have anger and bitterness being the driver of your life, right? It's so liberating. It's so freed. It's such a freedom. It's such a freedom, y'all. That victories after victories. And it might seem like I'm all over the place because as things come to me, I'm pitching it to y'all. I didn't have no script, no nothing today. Usually I write it down like key points that I want to go over with you all, but I don't have that today. I'm just, hey, listen to a message with Dave Chappelle and Maya Angelou, And I'm going to put this in a link in a message a little later because I don't know how to do it right now. But it's on the YouTube and it's called, hold on, let me put this right here. ICONOC, or just type Dave Chappelle plus Maya Angelou. It was a meeting from 7 years ago that they had. So, and it's a full episode and it's like 47 minutes long. Dave Chappelle plus Maya Angelou. It was from 7 years ago. I'm telling you, it's going to bless you. So many gems in that. But in just recapping before I get off, I want you all to know that she stated bitterness is like a cancer. It eats upon the host. It doesn't do anything to the object of it doesn't do anything to the object of its displeasure. Now, next time we get together, we're going to break down what does that mean about the object of its displeasure, right? We're going to break that down. So you all go listen to it. So when we come back, I might come back Thursday or Wednesday night, probably Wednesday night. I come back and then we can discuss that because we got to know it's not just enough to get a pretty quote, right? It's so important that you're properly able to define that thing, properly able to have an understanding of that thing. Because if you do not, what's going to happen is that you can't fulfill it. If you can't properly define something, it's no way possible you can have it manifested or fulfilled in your life because you like, oh, okay, that's cute words. But it's so important because nobody can take that away from you. Once you're able to have a total understanding of something, you gain knowledge of a thing, and that thing is for you, can't anyone take that away from you guys. No one. No one. So it's so important. Like anger, bitterness. Okay, I know that anger is, hold on, let me go up here. And I want to bring it up because I bring the dictionary up so I can have like, okay, what does this mean? What does it truly mean? Because I have an understanding of what I believe that it means, what I think, what I was raised to believe that it means. And it says anger is a strong feeling of displeasure and usually of antagonism, a threatening of violent appearance or state, rage, right? And it's so important. Like, what do you do with that? Because in that context in which Maya and Dave Chappelle were talking about, Maya Angelou and Dave Chappelle was talking about is racism. It's the bondage of African Americans. He said, you had to be so angry. Absolutely, she was. She said, if you're not angry, something is wrong with you. If you're not angry, what did she say? If you're not angry, if you are not angry, you're either like a rock, a stone, or too sick to be angry. And you should be angry about the depression, the oppression. Like this is me, not her. You should be angry about the oppression. You should, but she said you should be angry because that anger forces you to do something. Now you're responsible for what you do. Now, but in her case, she was like, hey, you need to get out. You need to write about it. What did I do? I wrote about my experience. I wrote about my experience of transitioning out the military through the brig. I wrote about my process of getting freedom. Freedom, like not just from being incarcerated, but in my mind and in my heart. I wrote about that thing. And so, but somewhere in between 2018 and 2021, I kind of like stopped. And you know what it was? It was that it wasn't bitterness, but it was fear. Another subject we're going to be talking about, fear. Fear paralyzed me to the point I did nothing, right? I did nothing. Fear what people would think of me. Fear what people would say about me. Fear of being successful, guys. If I'm honest, fear of being successful, right? Fear of what people would think about me, right? Fear. But no more. Like, and I don't even like to say I do it scared because I'm not doing it scared. Because if I was scared, I would never do it, right? I don't know why people say that, oh, do it scared. No, you're not going to do anything scared. You're just going to go out and do it because there's something in you pushing you. Hey, go past the fear, go past being scared. You know, it's something in the inside of you. Hey, this is for you. Hey, you can do this. Hey, you can break this barrier. And so that is what we're called to do. I'll tell you that anger and bitterness, so much can be labeled up under that thing. So, with that being said, I'm gonna get ready to go because I kind of miss coming out here. I really no kind of I really miss coming out here, but I'm working on some big things, and you all are gonna see. So it's gonna take me a little bit to get it, but it's coming. It's coming. I'm dedicated, committed to it, and your girl is about to do some great things. Yeah, and Dre, you're so right. We are responsible for what we do, and fear paralyzes us. Like really, really, really paralyzes us. And but we're free, guys. And one thing I want you to remember is that I think one thing that Dr. Maya Angelou will always say is that you are important. You know, and she tells her the story in this talking to Dave Chappelle that she had an encounter with Tupac. She didn't know who he was, but he was like going on cursing, cursing, and then she tells him, like explaining to him, you know, why he's important. She said, "You are important. You are important." And I want to tell you, the listener, for everybody who hears the sound of my voice, that you are important. If nobody has ever told you that, you are important. If you don't believe it, I'm reinforcing it. I am confirming that your importance in this world, your importance to your family, your importance to your environment. You are important. Yes, you. Like I'm important. So, y'all have a great day. Thank you for tuning in. I thank you for listening to the replay. And I'll see you. I'm going to just tell you, I'll see you tomorrow night. I might be in my car. Don't know what time it's going to be, but I will see you tomorrow night. The lighting might not be too good because it might be kind of dark, but I will see you tomorrow night because you will hear the sound of my voice. And the words that's going to come out of my mouth are going to be life changing. Have a most excellent day. And remember, you are important. Bye.